Hello friends, this video on Matter and Magnetism Part 18 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till Part 17 before going ahead with Part 18. So now we will calculate the magnetic field at some point from a current carrying circular loop. So now let us suppose we have a circular loop, as you can see here, this blue colored loop, which is in this plane XZ. It is in the XZ plane, okay? And we have to find out the magnetic field due to this current carrying loop at some point. Let us call this point as P, which is located at a distance X from the center of the loop on the y-axis. That means this point P is lying on the other axis other than the plane of it is not lying on the plane of the circular loop. Circular loop is in the XZ plane and you have this point P on the y-axis, right? And let us suppose that the radius of the circular loop is capital R. So you have to find it out at this point. So let us suppose I consider a small element, that is dl. I consider a small element, let us say AB, of length dl. So this element is of length dl, right? So what I'll do, I will first so what is my current element here? So the current element will be I dl, right? So now according to Biot-Savart law, so as per Biot-Savart law, the small magnetic field due to this current element dl at point P will be what? This will be equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sine theta by r square. What is sine theta? Theta is nothing but the angle which dl, that is the length element, makes with the position vector. So position vector is this one. So let us draw the position vector. So this is the position vector, right? So this will be I dl into sine theta. So what is theta? Theta is the angle between this dl and this line. Now if you look at it, the dl, that is length element, would be somewhat like this because current is flowing in this direction. So this is dl. Therefore the angle which it makes with this position vector is nothing but 90 degree, right? Because you try to imagine this, the best way to understand this is, take a bangle in your hand and imagine that the bangle is this circular loop which is carrying some current. So if you consider a small element, say dl, so the direction of that dl will be tangential to the loop. Now if you consider another point P which is not lying in the plane of the loop, then the line joining the point P and the small element dl, they will be at 90 degrees to each other. They will be perpendicular to each other. So in this case, your theta will be 90 degree. This is sine 90 degree divided by r square. R is nothing but this position vector. So what is the value of this? This is nothing but this is 90 degree. This is r, this is x. So this will be root over r square plus x square according to Pythagoras theorem. So this will be equal to root over r square plus x square whole square, right? So dB becomes equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl divided by r square plus x square, right? So this is the small value of dB. Now what about the direction of dB? When you look at the direction, you again apply the right hand rule. So try to apply right hand rule. So dB is governed by dl cross r. So take all your fingers towards dl, whereas r is towards the right. So if you take it towards the right, you would see what is the direction of dB. So the direction of dB comes out to be somewhat like this. This becomes the direction of dB. If you get trouble getting this direction, try it in this way. You align your hand in the direction of dl. I have drawn the dl vector, right? Keep your hand like that and try to fold your fingers towards this r, that is root over r square plus x square. So what do you get? So it will be somewhat like this. That means first you keep your hand here Like you keep your 4 fingers like this and this is your thumb, right? So now you move your hand in such a way so that you can roll your fingers towards R, right? So basically you move your entire hand somewhat in this direction because your R is somewhat towards that direction. Therefore your thumb goes in this direction. And that becomes the angle of that becomes the direction of dB. So now if you look at it, as you consider more small elements like this, that means as you keep considering elements here, and so on, gradually the direction of dB also keeps changing. Now it is here, again it will be here, and so on. So this dB can be resolved into two components, that is dB cos theta and sin theta. Let us suppose if this angle is theta, in that case this angle will also be theta, right? So if this is dB, you can resolve dB into two components, that is dB, if this is theta, this is also theta. So what will be this angle? This will be nothing but 90 minus theta. So this will be 90 minus theta. So now if you resolve dB into two components, this is dB, so this will be dB cos 90 minus theta, that is dB sin theta, and this will be dB sin 90 minus theta, that is dB cos theta. So these are the two components. Now what do we see? By symmetry, we will see that you will have all other dBs, but for all of them, their horizontal component will be dB sin theta, but their vertical component for some of them will lie in this direction. So they will all cancel out. So by symmetry, summation of dB cos theta will be equal to 0 because gradually as you keep considering more small elements dl, you will keep getting more dB, and again you will resolve all those dB into dB sin theta and cos theta. All sin thetas will come in this direction, but half of the cos thetas will come in this direction and half of the cos thetas will come in the opposite direction. So your summation of all dB cos theta will be 0, but summation of dB sin theta will not be equal to 0. Therefore, what would be the net magnetic field? That will be integration of dB sin theta, because dB sin theta is the only non-zero one. So now you put the value of dB here. So what do you get? You get mu naught by 4 pi I dl divided by r square plus x square into sin theta. So now you apply simple trigonometry in triangle AOP. In this triangle, sin theta is perpendicular by hypotenuse. So you can write this sin theta as perpendicular, that is r, divided by root over r square plus x square. So you can write sin theta like this, and this remains the same, that is mu naught by 4 pi I dl divided by r square plus x square. Right? So this becomes equal to mu naught by 4 pi IR divided by r square plus x square to the power 3 by 2 into integration of dl. So dl will be integrated from where to where? This dl is basically a small component of the entire circumference. So it will be integrated from 0 to the circumference of the circle, that is 2 pi r. So what do you get? You get B is equal to mu naught I r divided by 4 pi into x square plus r square to the power 3 by 2 into 2 pi r. So this pi and pi will get cancelled, this 2 will get cancelled with this. Therefore we get B is equal to mu naught I r square divided by 2 into x square plus r square to the power 3 by 2. So this is the value of magnetic field at some point P due to a current carrying circular loop. right? So now in this, you would have seen that the most important part to understand here is the direction of the magnetic field. So I will try to explain that to you very clearly in this slide. That is why I have kept a separate slide for this. Even though here also, while calculating when I took a small element, what I did, I considered that if that element is here, so what would be the direction of magnetic field? The direction of magnetic field at this point was somewhat here, right? Similarly, if you considered this point, what would be the direction of magnetic field? Here also your direction would be somewhat like this. So more you come this side, your direction will move this side. That means as you keep coming like this to this point, so you will also keep reaching the direction like this. So a direction will also keep changing like this as your point keeps changing. So now if you are given a circular loop and you are asked that what would be the net direction of magnetic field. So what did you conclude from this discussion? You observed that for each direction, for each small element dl, you have a particular direction of magnetic field which can be resolved into two components. One is this. One is the component along this direction and the other one is a component along this direction. So whatever is along this direction will get cancelled out in the opposite direction. So your net magnetic field will act along this direction. So this would be the direction of net magnetic field if a circular loop is carrying a current I in this direction. So in this case, we use the right hand thumb rule. We call this as right hand thumb rule. This is used to calculate or to determine the direction of net magnetic field for a circular current carrying loop. How do you apply this rule? You fold all the four fingers of your hand in the direction of current. Let us suppose in this case the current is flowing like this. That means that if you look at this loop very carefully, take a bangle in your hand and you imagine that the bangle is kept in front of you, not as a circle. It is looking like an oval to you, right? And the current is flowing like this. Try to imagine it properly. The current is flowing like this, right? So you take all the four fingers of your hand this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the four fingers of your hand and this is your thumb. So you keep your thumb like this, you keep your hand in front of you. This is how you should keep your hand in front of your face, right? Now you curl your fingers. The way you are curling your finger is the way the current is flowing through the wire. Now if you curl your finger, what will happen? Let us suppose this is how it is. This is the circular loop, right? In which the current is flowing like this. So if you curl your fingers, the fingers are denoting the direction of current. And this thumb, which is pointing in this direction, is telling you the direction of net magnetic field due to this current which is flowing in the circular loop. So wherever you have a circular loop, you can use this right hand thumb rule to find out the direction of magnetic field. Because if you use the previous right hand rule, you can calculate the magnetic field for each individual small elements. But then you will have to determine the net magnetic field because of each of those elements. So this is an easier way to know the direction of net magnetic field due to a circular current carrying loop. So I hope you understand. So it is very important. I tried my best to explain this diagram to you, but it is very important that you understand this diagram properly. I mean this circular loop, how the circular loop is placed, please try to understand that. The loop is basically a circle, but it is placed in front of you in such a way that the circle is not visible to you. If you look sideways, then you can see the circle. Otherwise, the loop is placed like this. So you keep your hand in front of your face in this position. Curl all your fingers. That is the direction of the current which is flowing through the wire. And your thumb points towards the direction of the net magnetic field. Right? So now that we have find out a generic expression. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.